Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with the last big box devoted to La Stupenda, Joan Sutherland, the complete Decca recordings, operas 1971 to 1988. So we've got the recital box, we've got two opera boxes, and it's one hell of a legacy. It really is. Of course, they're in these cubes where if you try and take it out, you're going to kill yourself because it's going to fall out like this, which is like incredibly dangerous. But you get a nice little booklet, a thick, chunky booklet here, which is good. And all these things are sort of, original jackets, but with sort of gold side things. And let's go through it. Looks like the CDs are falling out of them as you take them out. But you can put them sideways like this. And it looks like kind of like a nice, book-like edition thing, which is lovely. Now, if I'm going to put them up here, like there, like right there. You see that? So they're there, and I can do it that way. One of the things I need to make clear is that if you got the Pavarotti box, the complete Pavarotti operas, then any operas that have Pavarotti in them are already in that box. So you already will have them. Fortunately, they have not yet done a Marilyn Horne box, which they probably should do because they get those too as well. But, what can you do? The fact of the matter is you can't penalize Joan Sutherland because she sang with wonderful singers. She was everyone says, an amazing colleague, a tremendous partner. And she wanted to appear with the best singers available. And it's all to her credit because she did some strange and interesting repertoire, which we're going to get to. So let's go through these and see which operas we have. And we'll just take it from there. We begin with the Rigoletto. Oh, it's a very good Rigoletto. Oh my, it's excellent. It's with Cheryl Milnes as Rigoletto and Joan Sutherland and Pavarotti. And, what's not to love? It's Richard Bonning is the conductor, and his conducting at this point was getting better and better. The only problem with it was the sound effects. Remember the sound effects in the first scene, the party music? Oh my God, cats running around. No, the party music, and they like turned it on and turned it off and turned it on and turned it off. The party, not the music, the party noises, the crowd noises, the conversation and the background. It's like, oh, what do they have to do that for? Anyway, but they had it, and that's that. So there you go. But otherwise, it's wonderful. Lucia de Lammermoor. Well, we remember that. This was Sutherland's remake. Remember, Pritchard, I think, was the conductor of the first one. And I have lighting issues. I'm going to fix it. Don't worry, folks. This is the last video where I'm putting up with that. Anyway, you have your choice. You could have the Lucia where she's in better voice but has no consonants, or this one where, and where you have like all the repeats and ornamentation and all kinds of stuff, and it's totally complete. And you get, yes, there goes the light. Okay. And you get consonants, but maybe not as fresh a voice. Maybe it's a little bit more studied. Still, it's very fine. Again, Cheryl Milnes, Pavarotti, Gyarov. Really, really wonderful casting. These Decca opera sets were really fabulous. This was a time. And we're going to go back. We're going to be thinking, in generations to come of that golden age of opera recordings when complete opera sets were coming out by the droves with the best singers, incredibly well cast. Decca was such a force in those days. Deutsche Grammophon. They all made these magnificent complete opera sets. And nowadays you don't see that at all. I don't know if we don't have the singers, they don't have the money, they don't care. It was a moment. And this is a wonderful documentation of that moment. Tales of Hoffmann, we talked about this in our Tales of Hoffmann survey. It's lovely. Sutherland is not ideal for all four roles, but give her props for doing it. And you've got Sutherland, Domingo, and Gabriel Bacquier. Really just it's fine. It's her own edition, I think, of the whole thing. Turandot. Ah, famous. This is the reference recording for Turandot. And she's really good. First of all, she's got the voice. She has the size of the voice that she needs, and she pronounces it. Her In Questa Regia is as good as anybody's. And you can understand what she's singing about. Oh, my goodness. It's just marvelous. I remember that vividly. Oh, Bellini Puritani. This is a terrific opera. It doesn't get that much attention. You know, people don't think about it, but it's a big, juicy, ballsy opera. And this is a very fine performance with Sutherland, Pavarotti, Capuccilli, and Gyarov, the London Symphony, and the Covent Garden Chorus. I mean, yeah, good stuff. Really, really good stuff. Let's hang on a minute. If I lean these this way, I'll be in better shape. Okay, are these all going to go in right? Yeah, I hope so. 12 and 13. What have we got next? Oh, Maria Stuarda. Yeah, Donizetti. Oh, it's so much fun. Sutherland, Pavarotti, Tourangeau. I love these. You know, one of the three queens. You know, Beverly Sills, of course, was the Kunstdiva version of these, and Sutherland is the Stimmdiva, the voice diva. But they were both pretty terrific, and the music is fun beyond belief. Esclarmonde. I love Esclarmonde. Massenet. With the national anthem of Byzantium. Oh, divine Esclarmonde. Yeah, ridiculous opera. You know, she's so beautiful that if you lift her veil, you're going to fall in love with her and collapse or something. Please. I mean, you know, there she is, the incredibly divine Esclarmonde. Actually, there was a wonderful, with Ethan Morden's book, I think it is, on divas, you know, the craziness of divas, where they talked about how Sutherland always looks kind of the same. She wore these sort of like, you know, body length costumes. She said she always looked like a Christmas tree just before you turn the lights on. And this is the picture that I think of when I read that comment. I went, oh my God, look at that. Yep, just turn them on and you're in business. So there's Esclarmonde and L'Oracolo. Oh, this is a trashy Verismo opera about a guy who gets strangled with his own ponytail. It's so much fun. And we also have, what is this? The Prayer of the Sword. Reminiscences of the music from the play by James Flagon something. I don't remember this being on the original LP. Maybe it was. I don't know. But that's okay. It's just, you know, something only Sutherland would have done. And she did it really well. Trovatore. This is, well, not the best Trovatore. It's with Pavarotti, Vixel, Sutherland, Marilyn Horne. I mean, they use a lot of ornamentation of the arias from the French version, Le Trouvière, I believe it came from, or something like that. I remember reading about that when it came out. And, you know, Sutherland is not a Leonora. She doesn't have quite the voice for it. But, you know, it's, as always with these things, they put their own spin on the work. They really do. And that's what matters. I mean, Marilyn Horne as Azucena is oodles of fun. She always is. I mean, it's just a pleasure to listen to the singing. If you really want the craziness of all the drama, first and foremost, well, you know, there are other, you know, better, you know, Leontine Price and Domingo and those people, Zubin Mehta, that'll probably do you better, honestly. Let's see, Lucrezia Borgia. Oh, this is fun. Donizetti. This is a good one with Sutherland, Giacomo Aragal, Marilyn Horne, Ingvar Vixel. Yeah, I mean, just vintage stuff. Lehar, the Merry Widow. Ha, ha, ha. Just a laugh a minute. Well, not exactly, but it's, you know, I like von Maticich's recording, you know, with Schwarzkopf. That's, you know, the only time I probably prefer Schwarzkopf. But there you go. Let's see. Puccini, Suor Angelica. Yeah, she looks absolutely ready to commit suicide. Oh, geez, isn't that what she does? Yeah, okay. And Tosca Visi d'Arte is on here, too, as like a bonus, because she never did Tosca in, like, real life, did she? It's I prefer Renata Scotto. What can I tell you? But she gets into it. I get the point. Le Roi de Lahore by Massenet, one of the very first works to use a saxophone in the orchestra. What does that have to do with the singing? Absolutely nothing. But you've got Sutherland, Milnes, you get Tourangeau, Nikolai Gyarov, great singers. And this was an early digital. I remember the first London, see, it says here, Decca digital recording on top. It was a big deal when it came out. And I just think her partisanship and willingness to go for Massenet is just a wonderful thing, because the music is just lovely, absolutely lovely. La Traviata. Okay, this is the big La Traviata remake. Sutherland, Pavarotti, let's see who else, Della Jones and Matteo Managuera and these people. Did she ever really have what it took to do Violetta? That is the question. I mean, she was no Maria Callas, and, for all the beauty of the singing and careful placement of every ornament, you get a sense, and this Traviata perhaps more than any, that it's all very studied. It's studied and not really as you need spontaneity and sort of the passion of the thing and all that. It's not really there in that Traviata. It's such a difficult opera to do, isn't it? I mean, it really is fascinating, how it eludes so many singers, and how, so many singers aren't up to the challenges. Really, I think it's fascinating. You could write a whole thesis, I'm sure people have, about, what's the deal with Traviata. Anyway, what do we got now? We have La Sonnambula. Oh, this is fun. With Sutherland, Pavarotti, and Gyarov. Sonnambula is just such a wonderful, silly little opera. She's walking across the bridge in her sleep, and she's going to fall off, and she makes it. And, the chorus is commenting, and, you just want somebody to get up there and go push her off and end the whole thing. Let's see. Pastiche. Oh, Pastiche, the Beggar's Opera. Yes. Isn't this fun? With a performing version by Richard Bonning and Douglas Gambley. I mean, this is just fun. I remember this. Yeah, that was enjoyable. Stafford Dean and Michael Horton and Kiri Takano and Angela Lansbury. I mean, it's everybody. Yeah, I mean, it's a real production. I Masnadieri by Verdi. Oh, wow. With Samuel Ramey and Franco Bonisoli and, really important people singing this thing. It's a trashy opera. It really is. But it's early Verdi, and it's fun. And you just go for the gusto. It's red-blooded, and, she looks like no lights to turn on in that costume. Heavy duty, but it's a fun piece, and there aren't so many recordings of it that beggars can afford to be choosers. And like I said, she was willing to just, go for broke in music that nobody cared about, and good for her. Ambrose Thomas, Omelette, as we call it in the biz. Yes, good old Omelette. Well, this is fun with Cheryl Milnes. Yeah, and James Morris and Gustav Winberg is in this one, and Keith Lewis and John Tomlinson, and all kinds of major people. It's a major French opera that no one pays any attention to, and good for them for doing it. Norma. Oh, yes, this is her last Norma, the one with Montserrat Caballé as Adalgisa. It was like the old Sopranos' last fling for both of them. And Pavarotti is Polioni, or whatever his name is. Yes, really, I like this Norma. A lot of people were really down on it. But it was nice here having an Adalgisa who was not an alto, because they were both written as soprano roles. Although Marilyn Horne was just, unbelievable at it, let's face it. I think that the earlier one with Marilyn Horne is better on the whole. All the voices are fresher, and the performance has a little bit more, blood and thunder in it. But I don't know. There's something about this that, when everyone was trashing it, and I listened to it and said, well, how many great singers are we going to get? How many more to do this? Well, I think the subsequent history kind of speaks for itself, doesn't it? Handel's Rodelinda. This was fun in a highly adjusted version. with Sutherland, and nobody gives her any credit for doing this stuff, because her voice was so large and so not period instrumenty. But I don't care. I mean, it's not. There are better versions now of Rodelinda. There really are. And it's a wonderful opera, by the way. One of the great soprano roles that Handel wrote. It's sort of sui generis. It's for Sutherland fans only. Let's put it that way, for the most part. Then we've got Anna Bolena. Yeah, Sutherland, Remy, Jerry Hadley, Suzanne Mentzer, and other people like that. Really, really complete. It's very complete, and she's very Anna Bolena. Yes, I think that this is, well, maybe her last great recording. Maybe when she could still sing it pretty well. It's really, I'm glad she was able to do it. Let's put it that way. Ernani, oh, this was not so good. Pavarotti, Sutherland, Nucci, and Burchuladze. I mean, Ernani's just a crazy, silly opera anyway, and you just have to have people who get up there and just scream their guts out. I mean, and to hell with anything else. That was the Leontine Price recording, and this Pavarotti wasn't in very good voice. No one was at their best in this thing, and the whole thing didn't come off terribly well. And last but not least, Chilea, Adriano Lecouvreur. Yes, the wonderful opera for Over the Hill Sopranos, because it never goes higher than middle C or something like that. With Sutherland, Bergonzi, Nucci. I mean, this is like the old age home opera. And, they sing it nicely. What can I say? It's obviously they're all near retirement, and that's just fine. That's what you do with Adriano Lecouvreur. And we are now, let me see if I have these in order. Oh, God, this is so difficult. Yes, those are all in order. All righty. And this last glob, I think, is in order as well. Let's see, now we do it that way. That's wrong. It's got to go like this. Give me a second as I redo this. And there you have it, the last of the Sutherland editions. What a wonderful singer she was. She was so giving. I mean, of her talents and her musicality, and I at this point, opera people are extremely snippy and unforgiving, as often as, unless they're fans, in which case they're completely and totally without critical faculties, and they're just mindless lemmings who worship these people blindly. But not all of it is great, but so much of it is. Really, a lot of it is, and she was a force. I saw her a few times. I'm happy to say I was proud to be able to see her at the Met. The last thing I saw her do was Gilda and Rigoletto, and it was really special. She had an amazing voice, just an amazing voice. And it's well documented. I don't think actually that the microphones could capture her real sound terribly well. A lot of people say that. People say it about pianists. They say it about singers. You hear it often. But in this particular case, she had a voice that was like a pressure wave. It was something that just came at you. I mean, it could ride over an ensemble in the most extraordinary way. And just the act of setting up microphones and having to choose who's in front, who's in back, who gets the, sort of, it eliminated the possibility of hearing the real power of what she could do, because she did it without microphones. I mean, she did it no matter how many people were in front of her, no matter how big the orchestra was. I mean, she was just a force. And you might complain about her acting skills or her statuesque, sort of appearance on stage or whatever it was, but she gave her heart to the music. There's no question. She put everything she had into it, and she did it with total professionalism and class and dignity, and wow. So I would get these boxes, just because, frankly, artists like this deserve the honor. They really do. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.